Let's go. I'm going to keep it nice and simple this week. I got 5 picks that I really like on this card. The first one is Melizakil Costa by sub, and that's at plus 600. Obviously, he's going against a great wrestler. First guy to beat Raul Rosas Jr. in the UFC, actually. And Duncan, decent kickboxer, too. He's looking real good against Arosa until he got hit with that guillotine. I don't think his submission defense is quite there. I think Costa really looked impressive in his last sub, getting that in his last fight, getting that rear naked choke. I think his submission ability and his durability are criminally underrated, and I really, really like the plus 600 tag on that. So we're gonna go Melizakil. I'm butchering that. Costa by sub. Next up, we're gonna go with Lupe Godinez by decision. Lupe Godinez by decision right now is trending at a minus 200. Almost all of her fights go the distance. Neither of these girls really have a lot of finishing power. They're both pretty decent grapplers, decent enough that they shouldn't get subbed. I mean, some of these women are hard to sub. They're so crazy flexible. Yeah, but you get minus 280 on the money line. I think it's worth it, considering the likelihood that it will go to decision, to take the minus 200 on the decision. If you want to get a little risky, risk it for the biscuit. It's not bad to combine this with a money line, either to use it as a booster. But even at minus 200, I think it's extremely likely. Lupe has a big wrestling advantage. I really like her style of striking too. She's kind of like point boxing with a lot of teep and leg kicks. It's very efficient. So yeah, Lupe by decision minus 200. We're gonna skip all the way to Pfeiffer versus Gastelum next. And I know Kevin Gastelum's durable as hell, but Joe Pfeiffer, he's got next level power. I think he's one of the 5 most powerful punchers in the whole UFC, and I like him to get the KO here. He's got the height advantage. I think even though Gastelum has recently committed to middleweight, I still think he's very undersized for the division, and I think this is just a terrible matchup in every regard. When he's going against point fighters like Izzy, it's a little easier to be durable, but I don't think he's gone against somebody who hits as hard as Pfeiffer in a long time. So yeah, we're going to take that Pfeiffer KO prop at plus 240. Seems pretty generous. And let's go to another knockout artist next. I believe he has the second most knockouts in the UFC, or third maybe second most in the division, third in the UFC. Drew Dober. So I love how you already went to Drew Dober before I even said his name. Good job, King. So we got Drew Dober
I
versus
already knew, dog.
Yeah, you already know. Manuel Torres coming off of his recent loss to Ignacio Bahamondes. Drew Dober coming off of his loss to Gene Silva. I'm not going to fault Drew Dober for losing to Gene Silva. Gene Silva is a whole different animal. But let's not forget, Drew Dober's chin broke Gene Silva's hands. I mean, this guy's built different too. His counter wrestling is really not bad. He actually did a good job in the first half of the Makhachev fight. So we'll give him a lot of credit for his counter wrestling. I think Manuel Torres is a lot better on the ground than he is at getting the fight to the ground. And I just think on the feet, Dober is going to be too powerful and too durable for him. Maybe Manuel Torres rushes him early. It's possible. But I think Dober's power and his durability are going to win him the night on the feet. And I see it being a KO. So we'll go Dober KO plus 130. And then for the main event, there's a lot of debate back and forth on this one. Is Moreno on the decline? How good is Usyk really? Did he get fraud checked, or are we still riding high over his very close fight with Pantoja? I think there's a very high likelihood this fight goes the distance, and the money line on that I saw was a minus 210. So I'm just going to do a prop bet for this fight. Main event to end in a decision, minus 220 now, minus 220. And again, good for a decent money line bet. Obviously, the profits are a little low, but very high likelihood that it's going to happen, or use it as a parlay booster. I'm going to keep it short and simple on these because a lot of these are really hard to pick with guys with not a lot of experience. But these are the lines that I think are very well priced in this weekend's card and should be a banger. So everybody better be watching it, whether you're a gambling degenerate or not.